Hello everyone, I am Pratibha Prabhugaonkar, Assistant Professor at Dambe College of Arts and Science, Miramar, Panji, Goa. This module is for first year BSc Botany students. Course code is BOC 101 and title of the course is Biodiversity 1, which includes microbes, algae, fungi and bryophytes. Title of the unit is Fungi and module is Reproduction in Penicillium. In this module, we will study the reproduction in Penicillium. At the end of this module, you will be able to explain about the vegetative, asexual and sexual type of reproduction in Penicillium. Reproduction, it refers to production of new individuals, formation of new individuals. Penicillium reproduces by three methods: vegetative, asexual and sexual method. Vegetative reproduction, it takes place by fragmentation, wherein you can see here the hyphae breaks, maybe due to accident or accidental damage. The hyphae breaks into short fragments and each of these fragments, they are capable of growing into new individual. In some species, mycelium forms a compact resting bodies called as sclerosome. Sclerosome, it is an interwoven mass of hyphae which becomes a ball-like structure, and this sclerosome, they helps the species to survive during unfavorable condition, and when they get a favorable condition, each of this sclerosome, they can germinate and give rise to new individual. Next is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, it takes place by formation of unicellular non-motile spores, and these non-motile unicellular spores are called as conidia. The conidia are formed on a stalk-like structure which is called as conidiophore, and conidiophore develops as an erect branch from any cell of the vegetative mycelium. The conidiophores may be either branched or they may be unbranched. The branch of the conidiophore, it is called as ramus, and this ramus again branches to give rise to metulae. From the metulae, number of flask shaped conidiogenous cells which are referred as phylides or sterigmata arises, and at the end of this phylide or at the tip of the phylide, round conidia are produced. Coming to the development of conidium. During the development of conidium, tip of the phylide swells up, its nucleus divides mitotically into two nuclei, one nucleus migrates into the swollen tip, and by a partition wall, the swollen region cuts off from the mother and forms a uninucleate conidium. So, you can see here, this is the tip of the phylide, this is phylide or a conidiogenous cell. So, the tip of the phylide, it starts swelling up, nucleus divides, one of the nucleus moves to the swollen tip, and by formation of a partition, this conidium gets separated from the mother cell. So, this is how the first conidium is formed. Tip of the phylide then swells again. Following the same procedure, the second conidium is formed. So, the second conidium which is formed, it pushes the first conidium towards the outer side, and this process repeats several times, forming a chain of conidia. Conidia, they are oval or globose in structure and either smooth or rough walled, and after maturation, conidia gets detached from the mother cell and are dispersed by wind, and when they get a suitable substratum, they can germinate by developing a germ tube and they can form a new individual. Another type of asexual reproduction is by formation of oidia. Singular, it is called as oidium. The mycelium of Penicillium, when it is grown immersed in a liquid medium, they divide by additional septa into a short uninucleate segments, and these segments become rounded and they separate as a thin walled spore like structure called as oidea or oidium. And when this oidea or oidium grows on a solid medium, they can germinate and produce new individual. The third type of reproduction is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction takes place by gamete-angel contact, wherein the two gametes come in contact with each other. Content of the one gamete is released into another and then further development takes place. The male sex organs, they are called as antheridium, and the female sex organ is called as escogonium. While in some species antheridium is non-functional and only escogonium is functional. This is the structure of escogonium, which develops from any of the hyphae. It is developed as a uninucleate unicellular structure. As it matures, the nucleus undergoes division and forms either 32 or 64 nuclei. This is the structure of antheridium. Antheridium develops simultaneously with the escogonium from any neighboring hypha. It is uninucleate and unicellular branch which coils around the escogonium. After maturation of both escogonium and antheridium, tip of the antheridium, it bends and it touches the wall of escogonium. The point where it touches, the wall dissolves and the protoplast of the antheridium is released into the escogonium. The nucleus does not migrate to escogonium. The protoplast is enough to activate the escogonium. Protoplast of the antheridium is enough to activate the escogonium. After that, antheridium does not play any role. Pairing of the nuclei into the escogonium takes place by the escogonial nuclei only. Female nuclei in escogonium, they arrange themselves in pairs and this pairing is called as autogamy, and each cell having two nuclei is referred as dikaryon. The escogonium then divides by partition wall into many binucleate cells. So, here the pairing of the nucleus takes place within the escogonium and then there is a partition, there is a formation of cell wall by which a cell is formed which is having two nuclei. Each cell will have two nuclei. Some binucleate cells of escogonium, they project out to form escogonial hyphae, and the cells of this escogonial hyphae are also binucleate. The tip of this escogonial hyphae, it swells up and it acts as a eschus mother cell, wherein the nucleus fuses, the nuclei which are present in this fuses to form a diploid nucleus. This diploid nucleus, then it undergoes first meiosis, which gives rise to or which form 4 haploid nuclei. The meiosis is then followed by mitosis, wherein 8 nuclei are formed. These 8 nuclei, after accumulating some cytoplasm, they form ascospores. So, with the development of escogonium and antheridium, many sterile hyphae gradually entangles with them, and finally after formation of ascospore, total structure becomes round fruiting body which is called as clistothecium. This is the cross section of clistothecium. You can see here the SI gets arranged irregularly inside the clistothecium. The ascospores, which are formed, they are either globose, elliptical or lenticular with smooth or acuminate wall. Ascospores are released by dissolution of ascus and the clistothecial wall, and these ascospores germinate on a suitable substrate by developing a germ tube and then forming a new mycelium. These are my references. Thank you.